Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain News Update, we'll take a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Before I begin, a big thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's through the super thanks option on YouTube, people that have bought me a coffee, my longer term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much for that support, and also a big welcome to the new channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that support also. And if you want to help support the channel, there are links in the description below. Now, straight into the news, and the Bank of Spain has weighed in on the housing crisis debate that is currently happening. Various people and institutions putting their ideas forward as to why there is a housing crisis here in Spain. And the Bank of Spain estimates that 600,000 more homes are needed by 2025 to balance the housing market. The Spanish economy has suffered a shortfall of some 600,000 homes between 2022 and 2025, according to calculations by the Bank of Spain, in which it crosses supply and demand data. The institution takes the figures for household creation and the arrival of immigrants and compares them with housing visas. It concludes that there is a marked problem of supply-side rigidity. While demand has grown strongly in recent years, production has been more modest, and this has translated since 2014 into a very strong increase in house prices and, consequently, rents. In turn, this has increased housing affordability problems, which are concentrated among low-income earners, young people, and immigrants in urban and tourist areas. So, there we go, the Bank of Spain throwing its opinion into the ring and estimating that some 600,000 houses are needed by 2025 next year in order to balance the housing market. Good luck with that. And quite simple is the analysis from the Bank of Spain. Demand has grown in recent years, but production has not. And that means, of course, that a lot of people can't afford a decent home, whether it's to rent or to buy. Now, the Bank of Spain has also spoken about Spain's unemployment woes, and it's warning that structural unemployment is at 12 to 13% and blames policies for doubling the EU rate. The Bank of Spain considers that Spain, whatever it does, cannot go below an unemployment rate of 12%. For the institution, this is our innate structural unemployment, and it is double the EU average rate at 6%. Behind this gap, the supervisor blames the very functioning of our labour market and, in particular, three agents: active employment policies, passive policies, benefits and subsidies, and collective bargaining. At the end of 2023, the unemployment rate in Spain was still double that of the EU 27 as a whole, which stands at 5.9%. The youth unemployment rate, 16 to 24-year-olds, was 28%, almost 3 times that of the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development as a whole, 10.7%, and around double the EU 27 average, 14.9%. So, fairly clear that according to the Bank of Spain, Spain's unemployment rate cannot fall below 12%, and that figure is double that of the European Union figure at a whole, which stands at 5.9%, and youth unemployment at 28%, which is quite frankly embarrassing. So is it time for the government to pull its finger out and reform the entire labour market here in Spain? I don't know, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. And the final piece of news we'll look at today related to the topic of compulsory military service here in Spain, a topic that hasn't been mentioned a lot since the government scrapped compulsory military service back in the late 1990s, I think it was. But lately, this topic has been making a lot of headlines. And as we can read here, European countries are already thinking about a new military service. If a high-intensity armed conflict were to break out, Spain would not be able to withstand it, one expert is quoted as saying. It has become one of the main debates of recent months. Compulsory military service could become a reality again in some European countries in the face of growing fears of direct war with Vladimir Putin's Russia. France already has a pilot project, Germany and Serbia are considering taking it up again, and Denmark has decided to include women. But what about Spain? Last March, the Minister of Defense, Margarita Robles, flatly denied the possibility. Other countries may be more concerned than Spain about their geographical situation, she said. However, according to Chema Gil, an expert in security and terrorism, Spain has to have the capacity to defend itself. So there we go, the debate about compulsory military service in some European countries, again one of the main debates that people are having. France, Germany, Serbia all considering introducing compulsory military service again, but here in Spain, no señor, according to the Defense Minister Margarita Robles, who has flatly denied the possibility of compulsory military service here in Spain, because other countries in Europe are more worried about their geographical situation than Spain. But what about Africa, Miss Robles? So let me know what you guys think. Compulsory military service again for Spain, good idea or bad idea? Let me know in the comment section below. Now let's take a look at some comments that have been left on videos recently. One here from Simon. IBI here in inland Almeria for a 300 square meter farmhouse is €230 per year and €11.84 per quarter for the bins, as the bins are a drive away. Yeah, Simon, thanks for the comment and answering a question that was posed in yesterday's live stream by a viewer who's planning to buy property here in Spain and wanted to know what annual taxes would be on that property. The IBI is the annual property tax here, and it means Impuesto sobre Bienes Inmuebles, and it is a council tax. And how much you pay every year will vary according to where your property is located and what type of property it is. Simon down there in Almeria is paying €230 for a 300 square meter townhouse, and here on the outskirts of Madrid we pay over €1,000 a year. And as Simon points out, you will have to pay for rubbish collection and other municipal services. And again, how much you pay for those services will depend on where you live and your local council. One here from Andres. One of the contributors to the housing shortage here in the USA is because of rentals being converted to Airbnbs. Some ways that cities are cracking down is condos restrict their association members from converting or limit the time a condo can be used as an Airbnb. Another way is the cities put fines for not paying hotel taxes on vacation rentals. Is this happening in España? Yeah, Andres, thanks for the comment. And yes, different governments around the country are trying to crack down on the phenomenon that is Airbnb. Different governments have come up with a whole range of policies to try to crack down on this Airbnb effect, which, as we know, is affecting a lot of people here in Spain, especially when it comes to affordable housing. And the problem is particularly acute in some of the main tourist hotspots around the country. One here from Larry. If a person lives for more than 183 days per year in Spain, that person is a Spanish fiscal resident and subject to Spanish income tax. Yeah, Larry, thanks for the comment. And this is a doubt that popped up in yesterday's live stream, I think it was, especially when it comes to digital nomads. In which country do they pay tax? Do they pay tax here in Spain, or do they pay tax in their country of origin, or where their company is located? Those were some of the doubts that we had. As Larry points out, it's fairly clear where you have to pay tax if you spend more than 183 days in a certain country, but it's not so clear if you spend 3 months here, 3 months there, and 3 months in another country, where do you pay your tax? So if you are a digital nomad in this situation, please let us know where you pay your tax in the comment section below. One here from CL Man. This is risky to have unaccompanied minors. It can lead to child trafficking, child prostitution, or child slavery. Unaccompanied minors should be handed over to the UN or dropped at the doorstep of their country of origin. Yes, CL Man, thanks for the comment. And this is also something that popped up in yesterday's live stream, the story of unaccompanied minors, people that come to Spain, young people that come to Spain with no parents, no guardians, and are left to fend for themselves. Some 2,500 of these unaccompanied minors are currently in the Canary Islands, and the Canary Islands government has come to an agreement with the central government here in Spain to move them to the different autonomous communities around Spain. And CL Man is right, there must be a better way to deal with these unaccompanied youths because of the problems that he also mentioned there, for example, child prostitution and child slavery. But when it comes to this issue, and with most issues related to illegal immigration, the solutions can be complicated. For example, how do you send somebody back to their country of origin if you don't know what that country of origin is? The majority of these kids don't have passports, they don't have documentation, so nobody knows where they're from. And sending them to a random African country, let's say for example Rwanda, I don't think is a good idea. But hey, that's just my opinion. One here from Good Question, Tenerife South is becoming a hotspot for thieves and bag snatchers. Yeah, good question, thanks for the comment, and also related to a piece of news that we saw in yesterday's live stream about how crime rates are on the rise in many autonomous communities here in Spain, most notably in Catalonia. Crime rates in that particular autonomous community up around 6% on last year's figures. And I believe that also the crime rate in the Canary Islands has also increased, maybe because of the problem that you mentioned there, bag snatchers and thieves in the south of the island. I don't know. But it is true that wherever you find tourists, you will find crime, unfortunately. But no doubt there are many factors contributing to those higher crime rate statistics in Spain currently. And the final comment here from Mr. Pedder, the holiday trip of the future will take place by you sending the money and staying at home, where you will receive emails about the weather, the cheap prices, and how nice the resort is without tourists. Yeah, Mr. Pedder, thanks for the comment, and you could get the impression that we are heading in that direction as far as holidays of the future are concerned. Maybe the holiday of the future will be like the one that you point out there. You send your money off and then they send you information about the weather and what the hotel's like. Or maybe the vacations of the future will be more like a virtual reality experience. You put on a pair of glasses, program where you want to go, sit back and have your holiday that way. I've got no idea. But with all of the anti-tourism movements going on at the moment, why bother? Better to stay at home. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.